Howdy, Beefalo Bart here, and welcome. Okay, so I get so many requests for Battle Royale, Battle Royale, Battle Royale. I personally don't care for it myself, but, a lot of requests for it. And we got Fortnite out there, good old Fortnite. There's already a lot of games that are like that now as it is. And it's been around for a couple years now, so it's not like it's a new thing. And I don't like to create something that's already flooded the market, and so many have already. So with the video position, I know you can't see my world outliner, but okay, let's get started. What I've done is I've created a blank project with my simple multiplayer Steam template. I've gone in and added Polygon Heist, and I have deleted the intermediate folder. And I'm going to do one more thing really quickly, or a couple things. I'm going to go to Editor Preferences, and just because I am me, I'm going to turn off autosave right now. I hate it with a passion. Go to Project Settings, and I am going to generate a new one. And I am going to give the project a name, Polygon Royale Test. And the description just of Battle Royale Polygon style, whatever, doesn't matter. Company name, Beefalo Bart Gaming, version 1, that's lovely. Everything's good for now. We'll end up changing those things later. We already have a maps folder. That is a given. You must always have a maps folder. Always, always, always. Getting prepared and getting set up. There's so many steps that you could actually try to focus on. Oh, what do I do first? What do I do first? What do I do first? Well, starting with my simple multiplayer Steam template, I'm going to hit play and standalone so you can see where we're starting at and what we have to begin with. So when you hit play, you're running the project just like you're running a game. You've got Steam functionality, username and avatar, upper right hand corner, single player, multiplayer. You can click multiplayer, find a game, or host a game, and then give it a name, hit make, go in, and there you're playing. So, how do we get started? You can hit escape, go back to the main menu, and select exit. We have some good base functionality for getting started. But since we're going to use, and I'm going to use Polygon Heist as my main source of assets, I'm going to start off with, I am going to change my character. I'm currently using the player underscore base as my player. I'm going to go ahead and create a new level, and we're going to use this as a test level. So I'm going to go to VR Basic, and I'm going to go ahead and remove the ball, all these cubes, and this pyramid. Get those out of here. I'm going to go ahead and move my player start, just so we have a nice little blank place to start off with. And now I'm going to retarget the Synty Studios Assets characters to be able to use them. The very first step that I need to do is I need to go into my mannequin folder, character, mesh, go to my UE4 mannequin skeleton, grab the upper arm. You've seen me do this 100 times. Rotate it up by 50. The lower arm, rotate it down by 10 and back by 20. Raise the hand up. Do the same thing for the other side. Upper arm up 50, lower arm down 10, back 20, hand up 10. Go to Retargeting Manager, select Humanoid Rig, modify pose, use current pose and save. Currently, for this test, I'm only going to use these characters, so that's all I'm worried about. So now, I'm not even worried about doing a save all just yet, because I want to now go into my characters folder, and I'm going to create a folder called animations. I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to create another folder called unarmed. Now, I want to go back into my mannequin folder and animations. I'm going to right click, retarget animation blueprint. I'm going to select my polygon heist character. I'm going to replace third person, spelled exactly the same way as the original blueprint we're starting from. I'm going to hit tab, and I'm going to type in polygon underscore. I'm going to hit the change button. I'm going to select the folder that I just created for unarmed animations. I'm going to click OK and then retarget. It's going to retarget the animation blueprint, the blend space, and the required animations. Now I'm going to hit save all. And for our maps, I'm going to go ahead and call this test map and save that. Next thing I want to do is, I'm done with the animations folder for now. I'm done with the mannequin folder. Go back into my player blueprints, and I am going to open it up, go to my viewport, select my mesh, change my mesh. I am going to currently be the male FBI. I'm going to change my animation class to polygon animation blueprint, compile and save. Now this isn't the character we're going to stick with. Now the collision that's on here for the capsule collision is a little bit big. We can adjust the size of it on the radius to 38, and we're going to leave it at that, because for right now it'll work. Our feet will be on the floor. If I adjust the capsule half height, then it'll start getting dumb. So now if I go back in here and I'm going to play from selected viewport, you notice that I forgot one step here, and as for my world settings, go into the game mode override, third person game mode, and then save all. Now when I go in here to play, see I had a mouse cursor, so I'm going to get rid of that in the next step. We can see where the FBI character, he already has a holster. However, the rest of the characters don't have one, so we'll work with that as we go. So back in my player underscore base, the first thing I want to do is I want to create on begin play. I want to create probably a function so that I can actually collapse that and put it somewhere else and just put a custom event there. So we can run it as a custom event and remove cursor, and whenever we run this custom event, I want to go ahead and hit compile and save. Now I want to go ahead and from here, from event begin play, we want to remove cursor. So now we put that custom event in line here, and it's going to be running as soon as we hit event begin play. So what we want to do is come up from here, we want to set input to game mode only. We want to get player controller, and then we want to set show mouse cursor, leave it unchecked, connect those two. Lovely. Compile, save. Now I'm going to grab this, highlight all of it, hit C, and kill that damn cursor on startup. Okay, so now that's done. We can throw that custom event wherever we want to and forget it ever existed, because now we have it on event begin play, and it'll always work. Hit compile, save, close. Now when we go in here, we'll always never have a cursor when we first start off. So now we have the basic setup of our character. We have a test map where we can test functionality. We can walk around, we can jump, we can do things. But the whole part of a battle royale is weapons, killing people, being douchebaggery, that kind of stuff. Well, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this my way, and we're going to do this. I don't mean to sound rude about it. We're going to do this my way, damn it. No, we're going to do it in a way that I think is going to be a little bit different than the norm and make it more interesting, because I'm going to actually use this for the Fright Night Halloween special. So we're just going to use this project as our test bed for hammering out some of the features. Now, with the standard unarmed animation, that's fine, but we're going to need weapons and we're going to need cool stuff. And that's not the character that I want to run. So let's actually look at the characters we have to work with. Go to our meshes folder, characters. Now, what you're going to notice is the FBI male, female, and SWAT character. Why are you being douchebaggery here? They're all normal, okay? They're fine. We're not going to use those guys. You can go to hell. Like say if we choose to use wow, you're just being douchebaggery because of that male SWAT character. Male shirt. What you'll notice is in the heist characters, he's missing something, mainly the back of his head. So we need to go ahead and create a fix for that, and that's no problem. We're going to use male shirt as our player character. Go back to our blueprints, and let's move your dumbass over here. Let's go to our mesh viewport. We're going to change this to male shirt, so we see he does not have the back of his head. No problem. Later on we'll actually do a different style for setting up our character, but for now we're not worried about it. We look at our viewport, we want to be able to add hair to him. So what we're going to have to do is go back to our characters folder and our heist skeleton, and I want to change over to male shirt, apply to asset. So that's the one that we're going to use for our demonstration. We're going to go back to skeleton tree, and this is going to be something that actually comes in pretty handy as well. Now we could actually just use the head socket, and we'll probably start off on that anyway. So let's go ahead and add, by clicking to our mesh, we're going to add a component, and it's going to be what? Well, let's look at our props, actually our items. So here in our items we have our male hair, female hair, eyebrows, things of that nature. I'm only really going to focus on right now the hair. Excuse the hell out of me. So I'm going to go ahead and select the hair, go back to my character, add a component, static mesh, and there's the hair. Now what I want to do is I'm going to call this head gear, because we're going to be able to replace this later. So we grab our parent socket and we're going to socket it to the head. I'm going to stop him from moving by unchecking real time. So now I can look at it and I know that, well, I got to rotate it by 90 degrees, and that looks good enough. So we know that dude's got hair now. So I'm going to hit compile and save. Now we go in and we look at our character. He has hair. Lovely. But what we're going to want to do is actually be able to change, because you can see in the Polygon Heist Pack you've got all kinds of different freaking masks. So if I want to be able to use a mask and be able to, like walk over and pick it up and then be able to use it, so we can actually find it in the map. And yeah, we're going to need things like health kits. We've got ammo kits. We've got a bomb. We got some other stuff that we can use here. Plus, we got weapons in this asset pack. We'll get to that. We'll get to killing shit later. So just relax, settle down. It'll be all right. one thing at a time. Now, another thing to take into consideration, everything that you do that's going to be visible to another player needs to be replicated, and that's going to be a problem down the line. So we can always revisit the headgear thing later, but if you remember some of my other videos, the whole thing of proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. So we've got our headgear. It's there. It's in place. We have the ability to create a system to replace it as we need to. So the next thing I want to think of is creating a basic setup for our health bar. Our user interface is something that's going to have to be done, and there's so many different ways you can set it up. I don't play Fortnite. I don't know how it looks. I don't care how it looks. I don't want to make a clone of Fortnite or any other game. I'm making this my game, and I think that I want my user interface to be in the upper right hand corner of the screen or bottom right hand corner of the screen, lower left, upper left. For right now, I'm going to put it in the bottom right. Partially because my beautiful face, you know, this lovely mug here, is actually in the upper right hand corner, so you won't be able to see it too well. You'll be able to see it while I'm in this mode. So we could do it in the upper right hand corner, or we could split it to where it's covering the whole right hand side of the screen. So to get started with that, I can actually minimize the polygon heist, and I'm going to go into my UI folder that I already have created and widgets, and I'm going to go ahead and create user interface, a widget blueprint, and we're going to call this our player underscore HUD, and that's fine. Now, technically I should do this in the HUD folder, so let's actually move that to the HUD folder. So you got main menu HUD and player HUD. So now whenever we're looking at our screen, this is our screen. How do we want our stuff to look? Well, first off, let's go ahead and just create a visible how it looks, and this is just going to be a temporary. It's not going to be the final one. So we just want to get some basic items there and functional. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to create a box for it to sit. So I'm going to grab an image, I'm going to drag it in here, I'm going to anchor it to the bottom right hand corner of the screen, and I'm just going to resize it to, you know, that's good enough. We'll make it 300 by 100. Again, this is only temporary. It'll change probably about 4,000 times. But with this image, let's go ahead and let's change the color and opacity. And I'm going to go ahead and scroll all the way down and make this black. And then I'm going to set the opacity to 0.3. And then now I'm going to click right here and I'm going to drag it up here to the top. And I'm going to save that color, so we can come back to it. It's just going to be visible enough to shadow out. And I'm going to hit compile and save. Now that we have this here, what we need to do is make it visible to our player. So go to our player blueprints, and let's go in here, and on event begin play is where we're going to put this. So I'm going to also create another custom event. You don't have to do it this way, but so we got our player HUD custom event, and what we want it to do is we want to create a widget. Since we've already created the widget, we can now use it right there and get player controller. Move that over just a hair. And we don't need to worry about any like set show mouse cursor and all that stuff, but we do need to add it to viewport. so that it is visible. So now whenever we run this custom event, we're telling it to show this HUD, because later on we may want to actually disable this. So this should get it visible and we can see it. So now I can actually come over here and drag from remove cursor and select that custom event and add it into our event begin play. And again, I come over here, see, and player HUD. And now, just like before, we can grab it, chuck it out the way. You know, a lot of people think, well, when you're creating a battle royale, just jump right in there and like start killing things right out the get-go. It's not how it works. You got a lot of little things you've got to actually put in place before you can actually do anything. So hit play, and you can see I have the grayed out area in the bottom right hand corner. So that's where our player HUD's going to sit. For right now, we don't have any values to go in there, so let's start adding in some variables. The first one's going to be health, and it's going to be a float. Okay, I'm going to hit compile, save. I'm going to set my value to 100, and at some point we're going to be adding in hunger and thirst as well. So let's go ahead and add in hunger and thirst. So if we want to use them, we can. I'm not at this point, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back over here, go to my category, and actually let's go ahead and hit compile and save, just because now we want to set our hunger at 100. We want to set our thirst at 100. And then we want to go back to our health, and we want to change the category to player stats. So now we have a player stats area. So now we click on hunger and select player stats. Thirst, player stats. So now we don't have to always be showing these stupid things. We can hide them. Compile and save. So we're done with the character for now. We have our values saved in there. That's going to change as well later on. We're going to do it a different way. But for now, let's go ahead and get a temporary functional health, hunger, and thirst. And to do that, we need a progress bar. And I'm going to grab one. I'm going to drag it in here. I want it to be in here. We're going to drag it out to not be full, to have a little bit of the border on either side of it. So let's actually line it up to where I've got a little small percentage of it sticking up. So we do have a border. And that looks good enough for now. So the health bar, we want it to be big for right now. So while we have it selected, we're going to go to our fill color and opacity, and health, well, it needs to be red. So let's actually do 1 on red, 0 on green, 0 on that, and we're going to leave it at 100%. I'm going to grab that, throw that up here. So now I have a reference to a solid red. So now if we look at our percentage, this is how it's going to look as it's going up and down. Now we could also go back in later and build our own custom one, and that's what's going to happen later on. But for now, this is going to be good enough. So we need to add some functionality. We need to be able to get the actual player's health. So if I leave it like this right here, hit compile, save, go in here, hit play, you can see first off it's not in the right position. So we need to make sure that while we have it selected, we click bottom right, compile and save. Now we go in there, it's in the right place, but it doesn't accurately show what our player's health is. So we're going to need to fix that, and that's really simple. Percent is this. We can adjust it to whatever we want to show temporarily, but I'm going to click on bind, create binding. I'm going to drag your ass over here, and I am actually going to change the name of it here from get %0, whatever the hell, get player health. So now we have a name for the function. And you can go over here out of the way temporarily. First thing we're going to do is cast to player underscore base, which is the name of my character. And we need to get player controller. So we're referring to this player only by the player controller. And from that we need to get health. Okay. Now I can't just plug this directly into there because we're working on a percentage scale of 100. So I'm going to drag off from here and do float divided by float 100 and then connect it to here. So it's going to show it by a percentage of 100. So if I hit compile and save, what? Ugh. Asshole. Get player character. Excuse me. Compile and save. So now if we hit play, it's showing full because our health is full. So to test that out, I'm going to go to my content folder. I'm going to create a new folder and we're going to call this gadgets because this is not going to be a permanent folder. And I'm going to create a new blueprint actor. I'm going to call this pain pad because we need to be able to test this. So I'm going to add a component of a cube. I'm going to resize it to 2 by 2 by 0.1. So there we go, we got that. And then I'm going to add another component which is going to be a box collision. And I'm going to resize that so that it matches that 3 by 3. And I'm going to go ahead and just scale it or drag it up a little bit. So now as soon as we walk on this, we want it to cause us pain and discomfort. So I'm going to go to here, delete everything, right click on my box collision, add event, unbegin overlap for our actor. Other actor is going to be cast to player underscore base. That's our player character. As player, we want to get health and go begin asshole. We want to drag off from here. We want to set health to health minus a certain number. So float minus float, and let's go ahead and set it to cause us 10 damage every time we step on it. And just so that we know that it's doing something also, we can just say print text and ouch, shit, that hurt. We're not going to leave that in there. I'm just going to, just to show you that it's doing something besides taking our health away. So we want to actually go ahead and grab that, place it in our map, hit play. As soon as we walk over it, ouch, shit, that hurt. We took off 10 from our health, and you can see our health bar is diminishing. We don't have a death function in here just yet. But as you can see, every time we hit it, it's going to reduce our health. Now, if you want to see what your current health is, let's drag this out. And I'm going to drag a pen from here to here. And it's automatically going to do a to text. And it's actually going to print what our health is. I'm definitely not going to leave this in here, but I just want you to see what happens whenever it reaches 0, 80, 70, 60. So it'll keep going down one little bit at a time. So when we hit to 0, go back over, now it's into a negative number. So we don't want that to happen. We don't ever want to go into a negative. So let's go ahead and go back into our pain pad, and I'm going to delete that for right now. So it's going to set our health to -10, but we never want it to go below 10, so we can actually put that functionality into our player character. So we've got this in our HUD. That's lovely. That works. So let's look at our player character. In our case, player underscore base. And for now, I'm going to put this under event tick. So we can check to see what's going on here. And we need to get a reference to our player's health. So I'm going to get, by holding on the controlled key, left click, drag, drop. We're getting a get node. We're going to get our health. And we're going to need a branch. And we come off of the health. And what we want to do is check float. And we need to figure out if our float is less than, which is this one right here, if A is less than B. So if our health is less than 0, then we don't need a branch yet. Yeah, we do. Connect that branch in. The branch is asking a question. The question is our health below 0? If it is true, then I'm going to go ahead and hold down the alternate key, left click, drag my health in. That's going to give me a set node. And what I need to do is I want to set my health to 0. So I don't want to leave that on an event tick the way it is. So what I can do is, for now, and this is going to change probably 100 times as well, I'm going to right click and I'm going to collapse to function, and I'm going to give that function a name of health underscore check. So this is going to be my health check on event tick. It's just going to run and see. Now if I ever want to edit that, I can double click on it, and there it is. I can actually go into it and see what I've done in here. Compile, save. Now I can close that function. I have the function here I can always call back to. So we're going to run that check. And didn't really need to take out the let's actually go back into our widget for our player HUD. And no, let's go back to our gadget. Go to our pane pad and let's put that back in there of print text and connect that to that. So I can get it to print our text out in the upper left hand corner of the screen. And now every time we take damage, it's going to show what our damage is. So let's go ahead and quickly, I'm just going to stand here and I can jump. Because every time I land in that section of the box, it's actually going to take 10 of my health away. Now it's at 0 and it's saying -10. Why is it saying -10? Because it's supposed to be doing a check. But you see my health bar is actually there. The health check should never get below 0. So it's still checking right here, saying is your health less than 0? If so, set your health to 0. So it's still going to work. It'll be fine. Because I'm going to end up changing that whole system later anyway. But if we're going to have a pane pad, then we got to have some way of regenerating our health, right? So let's go ahead and create another gadget, which is going to be a blueprint actor and first aid underscore kit. I'm going to go open that up, drag your punk ass over here, go back over to my Polygon heist, look in my items folder, and we have a first aid kit right there. These 3 pieces, so it's like opened up. This one's actually closed. So what I'll do is add component, static mesh, and there it is. It's going to sit right on the floor. That's fine. We're going to add a component of a box collision. I know. Yeah, I'm reading a Discord message. So we're going to drag that up here. And now we have our box collision that we can step on. If we want to, we can make it even smaller so that it actually fits. And not a horrible idea, so that you can't just like get it from, you know, too far away. So let's go ahead and just shrink it down a little bit. So it covers our health kit, but just sticks up a little bit, and that's fine. As long as we can collide with it, that's all that matters. So that's good. Lovely. Compile, save, delete everything here. We can make it fancy and make it spin. So let's actually look at our viewport. If we want to make it spin, then I'll add another component, add a rotating movement. And now we go back in here. What we're going to do is select our box collision, right click, add event on component begin overlap. And again, we want to cast to player underscore base, which is my player character. And when the player steps on it, the first thing we want to do, and I'm going to go back over here to this while I'm thinking about it. I'm going to scroll down, and I am going to select collision presets to no collision. We want to be able to walk through this. Compile and save. So we're not going to be able to stand up on top of it and spin in circles as well too. So what we want is when the player steps on it, we can actually go ahead and stick it into the map. We can take a look at it. So we start over here, we step on that, and let's go ahead and drop that into the map and take a look at it. So we hit play, we can see, hey, it's cool, it's a little spinny first aid kit. We want to make it even more cool. Let's go ahead and go back to our viewport and make sure we have our box collision and our item saved, and let's move it up. And if we scroll up to here, if you're not sure how high that looks, you can always look at it on your map and go back and forth. I'm going to move it to 100, compile and save. Let's go look in the map and see how it looks. And that's cool. Now there's another way you could do that. Let's stand it up. So let's hit the rotate and rotate it this way. Now let's make sure that our box collision is actually lined up correctly. So let's actually make it bigger. You know what? Let's uncheck that. I want it to be a certain way. And we can do that, undo that. That's better. And that's better. So now if we hit compile and save, and look at it in the map, there we go. We got a nice little spinning first aid kit that's in the air. I don't like the way that it's doing it that direction, so let's actually rotate it this way. Compile and save, and now we look at it. We can see a nice little spinning first aid kit. We can walk through it because we haven't set the other functionality yet. So in our event graph, what we want to do is we want to check to see if our player actually needs it. If they don't need it, then they can piss off and not steal the damn thing. So as player base, get health, and we can do float, and we want to check to see if the player's health is equal to or greater than 100. So we're going to do it that way. And we'll do 100. So we're going to see if it's greater than 100. So let's go ahead and get our branch node, connect that in there. And connect that to here. And if the player's health is not greater than and equal to, which means they're less than 100%, then if it's false, then we want to first off give the player health of 10. Okay, so let's grab our reference to our player's health. So we'll get the ability to type get health, and then we drag off from here, and we can just hit shift and then the plus key, so we can hit float plus float, and we're going to change that to 10. Now we'll go back into our player here later and set its max health, but for now we're going to get a reference to our health. We're going to add 10 health, and now what we need to do is drag out from as player base and set health, so that now we can set our health to our current health plus 10. We can actually put it in here if we want to, and we can get this value here and do float if it is greater than 100. Get our branch, connect that. So if our health is greater than 100, then we want to come back over here and set health to 100. So it's not going to give us more than 100 health total. It's going to cap us at 100. So the next thing we want to do is we want to make this thing go away, because we go in here right now and we hit play. We run over. Oh shit, we got health damage. Oh no, we're hurt. So we run over here and oh, it's not working. It's not working. It's not working. It's not working. So why is it not working? So we're checking our health. Let's get rid of that. Let's do float. We want to check to see if it is less than 100. If it is less than 100, then we need to be able to do it then. So it shouldn't do anything now because we don't need it. If we come over here and we knock our health down, we should be able to walk over it and it should give us our health back. No problem. So it works. But what we need to do now is we need to make it go away. And now the one way you could do it, if you want it to go away and never come back, you can just drag off from here and destroy actor. Target itself, so that's fine. I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to show you how, if you want it to go away, we don't need it. So we can just walk through it all day long. Give me the damn health kit. I want to be a douche knuckle. I want to steal it from everybody. So no, we're not going to let you steal the damn thing if you don't need it. Now we need it. So I'm going to go over here and it just didn't disappear. Why are you being a douche knuckle? So it's supposed to destroy it right there, and it's not 100% for some reason. Okay, let's knock it down to where, okay, we take it and it is not doing it. So I'm just going to do it the way I want to do it. We're not going to destroy the actor. Piss off. We're actually going to go over here and we need to make the health kit go away. We need this to not be active. So first thing we want to do is set visibility, leave it unchecked. We need to make it vanish. So let's confirm that we can actually use this the way that we want to. Deactivate and activate. So we're going to use both, but for right now we're going to deactivate the box collision. We're going to turn off visibility of it. So now we don't need it, so it shouldn't do anything. So now we do need it, and we can use it. It is supposed to go away. You piece of shit. Why are you being an asshole? I've done this shit 100 times, and now it's just gonna ignore every damn thing I'm telling it to do. You know what? I'm gonna delete you, and I'm gonna throw another version back in here. It should not matter. And I don't know what happened on this last update, but simple things quit working. It's supposed to deactivate. When we overlap, on component begin overlap, it's going to do all this junk right here and only let us get it whenever we need it. Then it is supposed to set visibility to unchecked, which means it's going to become invisible, and it's going to deactivate the box collision so that we can't get it at all whenever it's not visible. But for some reason, Unreal Engine 4 hates me. I mean, honestly, what should happen right here, let's go ahead and do a print text. When something breaks, then print text is your best friend. Holy shit, does it work? So compile and save, go into the map, run play, and it shouldn't do anything because lovely. Run over it, and it does not do anything because it's now doing a check to see if we need it. So let's run it and let's see if we can still need health afterwards. So we run it here and it's not working because it's not getting to that point. So we know that this is not, it's not getting to this point because A, we're setting our health here. So we need to take that back out and this back out because it's doing a conditional check that needs to be done in the player character. So if we run this here, compile and save, go back in, run over it. I didn't need it, so it didn't do anything. Come over here. Holy shit, does it work? Yes, it does. So now we can actually do, as I was saying before, destroy actor if you want it to go away and never come back. So if we compile and save, go back into the map. We don't need it, so it shouldn't do anything. But we do need it. We're going to run over it. We used it and it went away. It'll never come back. So I don't want that to happen. I want this thing to respawn. How about that? If you want it to respawn, then all you got to do is just go back in here like we were doing before it decided to shit on me. So we can then set visibility, and we're going to connect that to here, and we're going to leave it unchecked, and then we're going to grab this guy and we're going to deactivate so we can turn off functionality of that checkbox. So whether we need it or not, it's not going to keep working if it's not there. And then we want to run a delay. Now this is a very, very basic version. I'm going to end up changing it to something totally different later. But this is a basic way of doing it. And now I can actually do this. Set visibility. Connect that to here. And check that box. We're going to let this delay be for just 5 seconds. And then we are going to activate. And connect that up to here. So what's going to happen is when we get it, it's going to disappear, and it should not let us keep running over it. It's okay. We don't need it. It's fine. We do need it. Oh, we definitely need it because we're taking so much health damage. Oh, this is terrible. We're getting our butt kicked. Now we run over here and we used it. It went away. It gave us our health back that we were responsible for. And then it respawns. You don't want a short respawn like 5 seconds. But now, every time I walk through here, it's still working for some reason. So let's go back through and do our check again to make sure that we can control this. So I'm going to get it. See, it's still checking. It's still working. So the box collision didn't deactivate correctly. So that didn't work, and that didn't work. So I don't know if you can actually do setting visibility should not work for that because technically it's not visible anyway. So we need to deactivate that box collision. So there's an easier way to do this. We can actually go ahead and let's reconnect all this. So this is all working for that part. But what we need to do now is we need to come in here and we need a variable. Can use question mark. And that's just going to be a local variable. And what I want to do here is scroll out, and I am going to, let's actually just move from here over, and I'll reorganize this as we go through. So what we're going to need to do is run a branch node, run that in here and here. So it is going to ask, can we use it? By plugging that in there. And the default to that, let's go ahead and compile. The default is going to be true. So if we can use it, then it's going to let us go through and do the whole thing. So now I'm going to reorganize all my stuff, make it all pretty again, just because I have to have things consistent and organized. So it's going to do all this, and then it's going to do that instantaneously, and then over here, after we get to this point, we can do this. Hold down the Alt key, left click, drag them in. It gives me a set node, and I can throw that in here. We're going to set can use, leave it unchecked to false. Then after 5 seconds, we're make it visible again. Alternate left click, drag it bugger in there, connect it back up, and we're going to reset it back to true again. So now compile and save. If we run over here, and it's not going to do anything because we don't need it. But let's go ahead and knock our health down a little bit. Well, let's knock it down quite a bit. So now we'll run over our health kit. Bang, it's gone, and we can't use it again. Well, okay, no problem. Now it reappeared, and now I can use it again. Running through the location where it once was is not going to work until it actually reappears, and then I can use it. So let it reappear one more time. So that's how you can set up a respawning health kit item. Same thing for weapons. So there, it respawns. Every time it respawns, I can use it, but whenever it's not there, I can't use it. So you can't BS your way and sit there and, oh, look, I found a glitch. I can steal all the healthies. So yeah, that's how you can make a pain system, your health bar, and that. When it comes to the overall, that's something you're going to have. And the pain pad is just a check system so that you can see that everything's working for your health bar and that kind of stuff, and your health kits. You want to start getting more complex on your health kits, I'll do that later. But as it stands, what we've got accomplished in this so far is we have a main menu, we have the ability to host, join a game, or play it in single player mode. We have our character is this guy. He's got some cool ass hair. We can take damage. We can use a med kit. We can heal it up. We've got a temporary HUD going, and we have all that. It's lovely. No weapons yet. We'll get to it. Just relax. Settle down. One thing that I do want to do is let's look at that hair situation again, and the idea of the items of all these different masks and stuff. If you want to be able to use a mask, the clown mask or the mask or the alien head, Donald Trump, or you want to be a panda, what I'm going to end up doing is setting up a vendor where you can actually purchase these using in-game credits or premium credits, or something. But for now, if you just want to make it functional to where you can test it to see if they work, then, and I'm just going to do that. I mean, now you can add these glasses to it. Now the thing is, if you're going to add the glasses in, those aren't going to replace the entire head or hair or head or anything else. That's just something you would want to add on to it. So I'm not going to do that one right now. I am going to do the... Well, I usually do like the luchador mask as my example, but yeah, whatever. Let's do that one again anyway. Let's go to our player. Let's go to our gadgets. Excuse me, and let's create a blueprint actor mask. Gonna open it, drag it over here, go back over here, pick up my items. We're gonna do the luchador mask. Actually, screw it. Let's do something different. I'm going to use the mask with hat. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to add component, static mesh, and there it is. That's lovely. It's not going to be perfect because, whatever. And I'm going to drag it up here. I'm going to set the height at 100. And I'm going to go ahead and add my box collision in. I don't like having anything checked there, but box collision, and let's move it up. I said move up. Give me shit. We're going to move it to 100 as well. Close enough. And what the hell? Let's go ahead and add a rotating movement so it spins as well. Compile, save, event graph. Delete the shit. Box collision, add event, on the component begin overlap. We're going to go ahead and make our can get. We're going to go ahead and go from other actor, cast to player. You're going to start learning how to spell cast to player underscore base, which is my player character. We're going to get a branch node. We're going to ask, can we get it? And we're going to link that up to here. We are going to compile. We're going to set that to true. So if we can get it, then we want to... Let's look at our player character and see what we called it. Headgear. So we want to set headgear. No, we actually want to set static mesh for the headgear. And then we're going to set it to get reference to that. Can't connect that. Let's call it item mask hat 1 mask. Learn how to spell underscore hat 1. So we're going to set our static mesh for our headgear to become that. And we're then going to get a reference to this. Set visibility. Learn how to spell. Set visibility to false. And then we want to go ahead and alternate left click. Set can get to false. Run our delay. Make it 5 seconds. Oh, I don't care. 6. That just works lovely. I don't care. And then set visibility again. And set can get to true. And we're just going to line those up. So that should work just fine. So now if we throw this into the map, go back to our gadgets folder, we're going to grab old mask here and throw it in there. Hit play. And there we go. It just changed it to that. And there's some overlapping issues or whatever, but you know what? Hey, we can get it again. The one thing we did forget to do, though, is select our mask item and no collision. So now if we want to, and I wouldn't have it as a pickup like this. I'm just showcasing how you can actually change items like that. Now it's going to keep deleting it every time. You could run a check to see if it is equal to that. You know, I mean, if we wanted to get technical about it. Like headgear. Run this over here, equal, select asset, and then type in hat. So it's going to check to see if we have it there. Can we get, yes. Then what we'll do is we could set here, let's run a branch node from here. So now what it'll do is it will actually check to see if we are already using it. So is it already this? No, then we can use it. So there's other ways you can run that check. That one just would probably work. So it's just going to check whenever right here, whenever the player steps on it, is your headgear already equal to that particular item? If it is, then move along, shit monkey, you don't need to steal it. So I'm going to run over here and I'm going to take it. And here in 6 seconds it'll respawn. And there we go. It still took it anyway. But whatever. There's other ways we can run that check system in here. I'm not worried about it for now because that's just a temporary. Items like that would actually be at a vendor instead and not in game. So I'm not really worried about the masks in general. But that's our 1 hour mark. That's starting to set up a few things to get us ready to actually do a battle royale. Get our character working, get our health bar working, and there we go. One thing you want to look at really quickly is you go back to your player base, your player stats, your health. It needs to be replicated. Compile and save. You'll need to make sure that it is replicated, because you want to be able to run checks for it, and we'll set up the system a whole lot different here as we go. But to get started with, there you go. There's your basics for getting started. There's a lot of work involved in getting a combat system to work. That's why I say, if you want to start off with something right now, get the survival game template or survival game kit from the marketplace. It's a really good place to start because they've already got weapons, hunger, thirst, health, pickups, crafting, walls. Just get that. Combine it with my simple multiplayer Steam template, and you've got an instant multiplayer survival game right out of the box with just very minimal effort. And then you can start customizing that system from there. And I would rather spend more time doing that than building everything from the ground up. I would rather have my own system, so I'm going to build it anyway. But, you know, well, I don't have any money to buy that asset pack. And I don't mean to seem rude, but tough shit. It's $50. If you want to make your own Fortnite, then you're going to have to spend some of the green shit every so often. If you want my simple multiplayer Steam template, $20, man. I'm fat. I gotta stay fat. Okay, I like eating. I do. I have a dentist appointment tomorrow morning, and it's gonna cost me $200-300 just to go get seen and get an X-ray. And I don't have insurance. I can't work. I'm not living off of a government note saying, "Hey, here's your Medicare statement and your whatever." No, I'm not living off Uncle Sam. So I can't just hold my hand out and say, "Fix me, please. Feed me, please." It'll work for what I got. So $20 to me for my simple multiplayer Steam template, and $50 for that survival game kit on the marketplace. I didn't make it. I'm saying that it's a good start. It's broke as fuck. You're gonna have to fix a lot of things in it, but you know, it's a damn good start. So for any kind of battle royale kind of stuff like that, and for probably the Fright Night, I'm probably going to end up modifying the hell out of that survival game template for the combat portion of it. But for the rest, I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to have any kind of major combat system in the main body of Fright Night. And so I'll elaborate more on that as we get closer to the release of the game. But for now, if you want to make a battle royale, then go spend some money. Spend some money here with me. Give me $20. I'll get you set up on that. And then get your butt on the marketplace and get that survival game template. And I will be working from the survival game template to make that into an actual game. For now, I'm going to leave the characters the same, everything else the same. I'm just going to go through and fix a lot of their stuff, and I'm going to modify a few things to change it a little bit. And I'm going to start adding in an AI system so that there will be some other stuff going on. But if you guys want to see Battle Royale, that's where I'm going to continue from instead of this. If I sit here and go through the whole process of doing this, then I'm not going to use it. I'll use it later down the line, but I'm not making this for me. And if I'm going to make it for you guys, then I hate to sound like an asshole, but I'm not going to do this for free because I have no need for this. I've already got something else in the works that I don't need to be building 15 projects at once. So, you know what? If you want to see more of it, it'll be up on Discord, and I will continue showing some of the stuff that I'm doing on the other project, but I'm not going to show you everything in the building of a project that I'm putting on Steam here in about a month. So, yeah, take it with a grain of salt. I'm not going to do a full build tutorial on how to build Fortnite. They'll like the fucking game to begin with, so. Alright, guys. Discord's there. Talk to me on Discord about what you really want. But as for this was just kind of a goof off showing some of the basics of what you need to think of when you're starting to plan something like that. And we haven't even got to the replication. We haven't even got to the weapons yet and doing damage and all that kind of stuff. But if you get the survival game template... Oh no, I didn't save it. Oh no, and I exited it. I'm going to end up deleting that whole project. In fact, battle test, that's the one we were just working on. Gone! All that whole stuff done in that video, gone. Survival game kit. I'm going to open that up. I'm going to look at that briefly. Get that from the marketplace. Get in touch with me. PayPal, $20. Simple multiplayer Steam template, and then you've got your own game. You can play right then and there. Everything's good to go. I'll even show videos on how to integrate the thing together. It takes a little while for this one to load because there's a lot of stuff in it. But I do recommend go ahead and get the survival game kit. Hopefully there'll be another update for it soon. Well, there was a lot of things that are broken in it. Don't get me started on some of the things that are broken. So you're going to have to spend some time making some tweaks. But you know what? For all the stuff that's in there, it's still worth the damn money. If I were going to make this for somebody and put it out there, I'd charge $250 for it. Of course, I wouldn't have all the little errors they got, but the multiplayer replication alone is worth paying $50 to avoid that hassle. The crafting system alone is worth, to me, 25, 30, 40 bucks. The being able to make a building, that's good enough. So when you get their kit, it's what it looks like for their demo map. I've got my own demo map. I've actually made a standalone demo that is available in BBG demos. I will actually run that demo right now. I don't know why I spent all that time freaking loading up that damn asset in here when it was just as easy for me to go ahead and run it as the actual standalone. So when you download it from my Discord channel, the BBG demos, what you're going to get is... Damn it, I got a lot of folders here. Hell, I think this is it. Now, I'm still making a lot of tweaks and a lot of fixes on this thing. So, it's not even 100% yet of fixing all of their bugs. And the biggest bugs that bothered me were the sound issues. So, this is what you're going to get. Full Steam functionality. You can click on multiplayer, host, make your own game. People can join you. You can play single player, whatever else. I'm the sad G, by the way. Whenever it goes in, and this is using my simple Steam multiplayer and their template. You got a furnace, you got a storage chest, crafting bench, campfire, rocks you can harvest, trees you can harvest, water you can drink. Hold down the E key. On this demo map, you got ammo, silencer, scopes, M4s. You got Spies 12 shotgun with ammo. You got a Beretta 9mm with silencer you can put on. And example, grab the M4. I'm going to grab a silencer. I'm going to grab a red dot sight, and I'm going to grab some ammo. Now, I can actually equip this. Oh no, I've got to reload. Okay, hit the R key, reload. Semi-automatic. Hit the B key, full auto. Hit the B key again, 3-shot burst. I'm going to go back to single fire again by hitting a B. I can hit the V key and look. Hey, look, I can see my hand and my weapon and so forth. I can right-click and go to ADS mode, and it doesn't always go, but it's supposed to go up to this right here. Okay, no problem. I'm going to hit tab and go to my inventory. I'm going to grab the red dot scope, put it on there by dragging it on. Silencer, drag it down here and drop it on there. Now when I mouse over, I can see I got a red dot sight, a magazine, a stock, and a silencer. Now when I draw my rifle out, hit the V key, I can see I have my scope and my silencer. Aim down sights. It doesn't change the sound file, by the way. But there you go. You got a working weapon system. You got working modifications to weapons. First person, third person view. Hell, let's grab some blueprints. Let's grab a large backpack. Let's grab a hammer. Let's grab some wood. By the way, these are stacks of 99 logs in each stack. And I'm going to grab 99 stone. I'm going to select my blueprints. I'm going to hold down the F key. I'm going to build a foundation. Bang, bang, bang. I want to build a door frame. I want to build 2 window frames. Actually, I have 1 window frame and 1 regular wall. And let's build another wall here. And let's build a set of stairs inside here. Let's build this type. Oh, it's not the way I want it, so I hit R to rotate, rotate, rotate. Lovely. Hold the F key down again. Let's try stairs like this. Oh, not the right direction. Okay, let's rotate it. And let's go ahead and put a floor section in here. Oh, can't overlap because, you know, we have to be cautious of gravity and stuff. So let's put another foundation here, here, and here. Let's put a wall here, and here, and here. And let's go ahead and put another floor section down. So we can do that. And what the hell, let's put one there and there. Now we can walk over here, and this is lovely, isn't it? We can build a full base. But you know what? Looks like shit. It's wood. Oh no. So let's grab our hammer and let's upgrade it. Let's upgrade it to stone. So you're getting all that for 50 bucks, and then for another 20 bucks you're getting my simple multiplayer template. Oh, you want to upgrade the stairs? Okay. You want to upgrade these guys? No problem. You can also repair or demolish as well. But damn, you gotta have to have a door, so, you know, hit it right here, next page. Let's put a door down. Let's put in a set of shutters on the window. Want to keep people out, right? You don't want anybody building next to your shit? Well, okay, go to your next page, and let's build a plot pole. So that's going to prevent people from building right there on your spot. So, and we're going to put another one right here just to be on the safe side. So nobody can just come over here and just start building next to my crap and so forth. So yeah, that's what you're getting for, you know, for their stuff. So there are a little bit of bugs here and there you're going to have to fix, but you know what? Spend the 40 bucks on Steam, get their product, and spend the 20 bucks with me, and this is what you're going to get the ability to create in minutes. I mean, literally, how hard was it for me to create this map? I mean, hell, I didn't even throw together any variation in the side of it, the size of the trees. But you got all your weapons, your customization. You want a flashlight? No problem. Here's a flashlight. Oh, it's not on. Hit the F key. Turn it on. Turn it off. Bottles of water. Apples. You can drag those into your hotbar. Oh, I got the flashlight out, so I need to actually hit 4 to put it away. And let's start dragging things to my inventory. Yes, the backpack does give you more storage space. So I'm going to put some apples here and some water here. And then you can do 5 so you can eat your apples. Or you can drink your water. Or you can come over here and drink water from here. Oh wait, did I forget crafting? Hit tab, you can make all these different items here. You can craft campfire, furnace, metal bed. Oh wait, these weren't in the original thing. I created these 3. You can make your own recipes to make your own stuff that way. So honestly, if I'm going to make a Battle Royale type game, then I might as well use their template and my template combined together, and this is what you get. I mean, and I say this is what you get, but this is what you get within minutes. You take theirs, you integrate my Simple Steam multiplayer template with the survival game kit, and in less than an hour, you're playing the game like this. Now, I've already started doing some fixes and tweaks and stuff. Oh, here's a metal bed. I can grab this metal bed, throw it in my inventory, put it down, and I can name it Beefalo Bed. Okay, and now I can come over here and hit E and spawn point set. A lot of the hard work's already done. Just go through, tweak it to your needs, and you're going to have to fix things. Like some of the fixes that I know right off the bat are going to be sound fixes. You're going to have to change all of the sound files in this project. You have to change them from the sound file to the sound cue, and then you need to add your own attenuation settings. Hey, look, there's a can of beans. Oh, there was 2 of them in that. So I can actually come over here and split it, and now I make piles out of it. Oh wait, this is a random lootable chest. Hey, look, there's water in here, and there's more beans. Oh, I'm going to restack it, and I'm going to put my water right here. I actually initially set and changed the stack sizes on some of the things, but you have that flexibility to do all kind of stuff with it. So in other videos for setting up this system, I'm just going to go through and just keep hammering out fixes on it. All the sound files are pointed to sound files and not to the sound cue. And then from the sound cue, there's no custom attenuation that was being set to it. So you have to change all of the items to the sound cues, and then you have to change them to also see and use your own custom sound attenuation for each individual thing. If I eat this apple and somebody's 5 miles away, they're going to hear me eat that frickin' apple. So that's why I've gone through and I've started fixing all these sound bug issues with this project. So again, I will continue on this in another project and in another video. So thank you guys for watching. If you want to see more of this stuff and using this template and my template together to make a game that's like this and make it into a battle royale, then just let me know, because you've already gotten here a death and respawn system. I'm going to end up modifying that as well, and adding some other touches to it and just making it into a full custom game. And this is all going to be part of the Fright Night and the Halloween release of the game. Alright guys, I'm getting out of here. Hit escape, go back to the main menu, and escape. See you guys.